Come with me, if you will, on a gentle journey into the sky. We are ascending slowly, peacefully above a truly remarkable place on our planet. Below us lies Iqaluit, the capital of Nunavut, Canada's youngest and largest territory. It is a small city, nestled on the southern coast of Baffin Island, looking out onto the vast expanse of Frobisher Bay. From this vantage point, the world transforms. The sounds of daily life fade into a soft hum, replaced by the quiet whisper of the wind. Here, high above the ground, we can appreciate the sheer scale and profound tranquility of the Arctic. It is a place of immense beauty and quiet strength. As we climb higher, our perspective shifts. The individual details of the town begin to merge into a single cohesive picture, a human settlement held in the gentle embrace of an ancient landscape. Iqaluit is not just a collection of buildings, it is a vital heart, pumping life and culture into this remote corner of the world. It is a testament to human resilience and the enduring spirit of the Inuit people, who have called this land home for millennia. Now let us turn our gaze away from the town, towards the land that stretches out in every direction. We are floating over the great Canadian tundra, a landscape of breathtaking simplicity and subtle complexity. In the long winter months, it is a world draped in a thick, pristine blanket of white. The snow is not merely flat, it is sculpted by the wind into gentle dunes and sweeping drifts. The whiteness is not uniform, it is a tapestry of 1,000 different shades, changing with the light of the Arctic sun. In the early morning, it may be tinged with soft pinks and pale lavenders. At midday, it can be a brilliant, dazzling white that sparkles as if dusted with diamonds. And as the sun dips low in the afternoon, long blue shadows stretch across the snow, revealing the gentle contours and hidden textures of the terrain. Look closely, and you will see the delicate patterns etched into the snow. These are the tracks of the wind, the paths of unseen currents of air that dance across the surface. You might also spot the faint, meandering lines left by a lone Arctic fox on its morning patrol. The occasional outcrop of dark Precambrian rock, some of the oldest on Earth, pushes through the snow like the ancient bones of the planet. These rocks are stoic witnesses to millennia of ice and wind, their surfaces scoured and shaped by forces we can barely imagine. Let us now drift gently towards the coast, where the white tundra meets the even greater white of the frozen sea. We are now suspended above Frobisher Bay, a massive inlet of the Atlantic Ocean. For most of the year, this bay is not water but a solid expanse of sea ice, a vast frozen plain that connects the land to the horizon. It is a bridge of ice, a temporary extension of the continent itself. The surface of the sea ice is a fascinating landscape in its own right. It is rarely a perfect, smooth sheet. Instead, it is a mosaic of different forms and textures. Great flat pans of ice are pushed together by the tides and winds, forming pressure ridges that rise up like miniature mountain ranges. In other areas, cracks or leads may open up, revealing the dark, mysterious water below. These dark lines are lifelines for seals and other marine mammals, providing vital access to the air above and the rich ocean beneath. As we float above the shoreline, we can see the places where the community interacts with this frozen world. Faint lines mark the snowmobile trails that crisscross the bay, vital highways for hunting, fishing, and travel to traditional camps. You might see a small cluster of fishing huts, tiny specks of color on the vast white expanse, where people patiently wait for Arctic char beneath the thick ice. These simple structures speak volumes about the resilience and ingenuity of the people who call this place home. Let us now turn our attention back towards the heart of this northern world, the community of Iqaluit itself. As we drift slowly over the town, the first thing that strikes the eye is the color. Against the vast backdrop of white snow and gray rock, the buildings are like a handful of brightly colored jewels scattered across the landscape. Houses are painted in vibrant shades of red, deep blue, bright yellow, and forest green. The layout of the town follows the natural contours of the land. It is not built on a rigid grid, like many cities to the south. Instead, the roads and clusters of houses curve and wind around rocky outcrops and gentle slopes, respecting the ancient terrain on which they sit. We can see the main roads connecting the different parts of the town, from the airport on one side to the newer developments on the other. It is a compact and walkable community, and from this height, we can appreciate how all its parts are intricately connected. Look closer, and you can see the details of daily life unfolding below. A line of school buses, bright yellow against the snow, waits near the school. In the town center, cars and trucks move along the main thoroughfare, their headlights like little sparks in the soft daylight. The buildings themselves are designed for the environment, with practical, sturdy shapes built to withstand the wind and cold. Many are raised slightly off the ground on stilts, a necessary adaptation to the permafrost, the permanently frozen ground that lies beneath the surface. Now, let us focus our gaze on some of the larger structures that define the skyline of Iqaluit. Prominently standing near the shore is the beautiful St. Jude's Anglican Cathedral. Shaped like a traditional igloo, its brilliant white dome is a striking piece of architecture that perfectly blends modern design with an iconic symbol of Inuit culture. Nearby, we can see the distinctive red buildings of the Nunavut Legislative Assembly. This building is another architectural gem, designed with deep respect for Inuit values and culture. From the air, its bold color and unique shape make it stand out as the center of governance for the entire territory. Our aerial perspective also reveals the hubs of daily life and connection. We can see the schools, the hospital with its essential helipad, and the bustling airport that serves as Iqaluit's lifeline to the rest of the world. There are no roads connecting Nunavut to the south. Everything and everyone arrives by air, or, during the brief summer, by sea. The airport is therefore more than just a runway. It is a vital link for supplies, for families, and for opportunity. These buildings, the cathedral, the legislature, the schools, the hospital, are the physical manifestations of a thriving community. They are the structures that support health, education, spirituality, and governance. Yet they are all nestled within a landscape that is governed by much older rhythms. From our peaceful vantage point, we can see this beautiful duality. We see a modern Canadian city going about its business, all while being held within the timeless and powerful embrace of the Arctic, a place where the ancient and the modern dance together in the cold, clear air. Let us now allow our gaze to soften and scan the wider landscape for signs of the hardy creatures that share this land with its human inhabitants. The Arctic is far from empty. It is teeming with life that has adapted in remarkable ways to this challenging environment. Look towards the rolling hills of the tundra. You might see a small herd of caribou, their dark bodies a stark contrast against the snow, moving with a slow, deliberate grace as they forage for food. They are the wandering soul of the tundra, always on the move. Now let us drift back over the frozen expanse of Frobisher Bay. Scan the surface of the ice, especially near the dark lines of open water. Here you might be lucky enough to see the dark, sleek head of a ringed seal bobbing to the surface for a breath of air. And where there are seals, there is always the chance of spotting their primary predator, the majestic polar bear. A polar bear, the great white wanderer of the north, would appear as a creamy yellow speck against the brilliant white ice, a powerful and solitary hunter perfectly suited to its kingdom. The sky above us is also a highway for life. In the spring and summer, this airspace would be filled with the calls of migratory birds returning to their nesting grounds. Snow geese, Arctic terns, and many species of shorebirds make epic journeys to raise their young in the brief but bountiful Arctic summer. Even now, in the colder months, we might see the flash of a snowy owl, its white plumage providing the perfect camouflage as it hunts for lemmings over the tundra. Or perhaps we might spot the dark, powerful shape of a raven, its glossy black feathers a striking contrast to the white world below. Though we see it today under a blanket of snow, Iqaluit is a land of dramatic and distinct seasons. The scene below us transforms completely with the turning of the year, a cycle dictated by the long, slow dance of the sun. The winter, which we are witnessing now, is a season of deep peace and ethereal light. The sun stays low on the horizon, even at midday, casting long shadows and bathing the world in a soft golden glow for just a few hours each day. As the sun begins its climb back into the sky, spring arrives. This is a season of powerful transformation. The air warms and the snow begins to melt, revealing the ancient rocky land beneath. The mighty Frobisher Bay begins to break apart, the solid ice groaning and cracking as it gives way to the dark, open water. Then comes the summer, a season of endless daylight. For several weeks the sun does not set at all, circling the horizon in a perpetual twilight. This is the time of the midnight sun. The tundra, now free of snow, bursts into life, becoming a carpet of soft green mosses, hardy grasses, and a surprising multitude of tiny, resilient wildflowers. Finally, autumn arrives, brief but beautiful. The landscape transforms once more, this time into a tapestry of rich, earthy colors. The tundra plants turn to shades of deep red, burnished gold, and rustic brown. The air grows crisp again, and the sun begins to dip lower in the sky each day, a gentle warning of the coming winter. The first snows soon follow, dusting the hills in white and heralding the return of the long, quiet season. The sky above Iqaluit is as much a part of the landscape as the land and sea below. It is a vast and dynamic canvas that presents a different spectacle with each season. In the deep winter, when the nights are long and dark, this sky often comes alive with one of nature's most breathtaking phenomena, the Aurora Borealis, or Northern Lights. From our imaginary perch high above the town, we could witness shimmering curtains of green, pink, and purple light dancing silently across the cosmos. They would ripple and flow like celestial rivers, illuminating the snow-covered world below in an unearthly, magical glow. This celestial light show is a result of charged particles from the sun interacting with the Earth's atmosphere. In stark contrast to the dark, aurora-filled skies of winter is the perpetual daylight of the Arctic summer. During this time, the concept of night simply disappears. The sun circles the sky, never dipping below the horizon. From our aerial viewpoint, this means the landscape is bathed in continuous, gentle light for weeks on end. The shadows would slowly rotate around the buildings and hills, but darkness would never fall. This living sky, with its dramatic shifts from total darkness to endless light, profoundly shapes the rhythm of life in Iqaluit. The sky is not a passive backdrop. It is an active participant in the daily lives of the people below. It is the great clock of the Arctic, marking the passage of time not in hours and minutes, but in the grand, sweeping movements of celestial light. Our gentle journey through the sky is now coming to a close. Let us begin a slow, peaceful descent, returning to the world below. As we drift downwards, the details of Iqaluit gradually come back into focus. The brightly colored houses separate into individual homes. The winding roads become clear pathways. The sounds of the community, once a distant hum, will slowly begin to greet us again. The impression that remains from our aerial perspective is one of harmony. We have witnessed a human community that, while modern, exists in a delicate and respectful balance with an ancient and powerful environment. We have seen Iqaluit not as a remote outpost, but as a vibrant heart in the center of a magnificent wilderness. We have seen the stark beauty of the tundra, the frozen majesty of the sea, and the living canvas of the Arctic sky. It is a landscape that may seem harsh to some, but as we have seen, it is filled with subtle beauty, abundant life, and a profound, quiet peace. This peace is perhaps the greatest gift of the North, a sense of stillness that stays with you long after you have left. Iqaluit is more than just a place on a map. It is a feeling, an experience. It is a testament to the enduring connection between humanity and the natural world. From the ground, one can appreciate its community and culture, but from the air, one can truly understand its soul, a small, warm light shining brightly in the vast, beautiful, and peaceful expanse of the Great White North.